In this video, we'll look at some of the templates that are available in my Workstation to help you build your sessions from. So let's go to the File menu, New, Templates, and a window will open up that has several tabs that have different types of templates available. So the one that's used by default is the empty session template. Let's look at the standard construction template. So you open that, and it has a ready-made session ready for you to play, which goes from 13 Hertz down to 10 Hertz, so it's an alpha session. So as you could hear, that has a isochronic tones track, that has a soundtrack with entrainment on it. It has amplitude entrainment and frequency band selector for entrainment. And it has an audio strobe track. Now, this is where the entrainment track in my Workstation comes to such a great advantage in comparison to Neural Programmer. In Neural Programmer, you would have had to assign your entrainment on each one of these tracks. And you could choose to sync the tracks, so you could create it in one and copy it to the others, essentially. And you can do that in my Workstation as well, but the general layout of my Workstation allows you to just take this single entrainment track here, make whatever settings you would like. So if I added a new node right here, get the node tool, you can also hit the Alt key, hold that down. That helps you to switch back and forth. So if I hold the Alt key, see, I get that tool as well. Once I've made this change to the entrainment track, it cascades down to all of the rest of the tracks as well. So I don't have to make any further modifications to these tracks for them to receive this entrainment. That's a major advantage in my Workstation. So if I go here, then I'm getting a faster entrainment there. So that is a general standard layout, and that's just one of the templates available. You could just change the entrainment here and you'd have a full session. You could also just replace the audio file with another one if you're choosing one of those or browsing on your hard drive, and you'd have a completely different audio session that keeps those settings. So it's quite useful to have that as a template. Let's look at a couple others. Let's look at the advanced construction. And we don't want to save that. So in the advanced construction, we have generally the same entrainment layout. This one is from 12 to 8 rather than 13, and it has a ramp up at the end. It has a soundtrack. Now it also has the ambience generator, which is a massive upgrade in my Workstation from what you have available in Neural Programmer. In Neural Programmer, you only have sound files that you can bring in. In my Workstation, you have an ambience generator that makes a unique soundscape each time you play the session. So it gives you a wide variety of sound possibilities in my Workstation that aren't available in Neural Programmer. And there's also an additional soundtrack. Now it turns out this soundtrack here, if we just solo it, is water. It's just simply a water track, so it's an environmental sound. Whereas this one is music. And one of the thought sounds tracks. So we have an isochronic tone, and we also have our audio strobe. So this one being a more advanced construction because of the ambience generator and an additional track. So those are available. And again, as in the other way, you can just change the entrainment quickly. And you can edit the ambience generator to put a completely new ambience in there. And we'll go over the ambience generators in more detail. And have a completely new session. So the next tab in the templates that is available, the first ones were under the General tab, gives you a range of relaxing environmental sounds to choose from. Now they could be a mix of sound files like this, which is just the babbling brook sound, or they could be ambience generators that have environmental layouts like the beach sounds. So this one is a dynamic soundscape. Very nice. And so you have a variety of those to choose from, and you can see that there's no other tracks that are added, so you would build on top of those, but they just give you an immediate sound bed to work from. Hypnosis ones include some hypnosis scripts, some inductions already built in. This would be the induction here.
When I say the number, sounds of the session, and settle deeply into your comfortable position.
And already that one is laid out to have the 3D sound placement on it, which is nice. It's very useful, and again, a special feature of my workstation that you don't have in Neural Programmer. So we'll look at a few more. We have the graphing tab, which will give you some graph layouts for some devices. In this case, it is only for devices. Graphing engine does require the professional version of my workstation. So it's device specific, and then the biofeedback gives you example sessions. And these aren't really example sessions as much as they are template layouts. So again, they'll give you the engine already set with an optimizer. So if you have this device, you already are a long way toward getting a session that is useful and works for you. And we'll just look at the last couple tabs here. We have the brainwave sessions, which are a variety of stimulation methods already pre-configured for you. So real-time entrainment is probably not one to look at because it's an enterprise session. So it just lays out a tone track for you ready to go. And then the My Machine sessions have the SpectraStrobe and audio strobe already pre-configured, in some cases with different waveforms or alternating setups. So if you're just learning how to use these machines, this is a good starting point as well. So that gives you a brief overview of the template system that is available on my workstation. Now, maybe an oversight in the template system is that you cannot add your own. You can't add your own folders. You can't edit these in any way, although in the My Workstation application folder, which we'll go over in another tutorial, there's a folder for them. So it seems like that's an oversight in the actual programming, and for some reason you're not able to expand this selection. So hopefully that'll change in future versions. But anyway, that is the template system in My Workstation, and I hope you've learned something.